What if the wild-haired philosopher who declared God is dead woke up one morning in a yellow-skinned body and spiky yellow hair, skateboarding through Springfield and spray-painting El Barto on the school walls? Sounds ridiculous, right? But hold on. What if this mashup actually makes more sense than it seems? What if Bart Simpson isn't just a cartoon troublemaker but a pint-sized prophet of Nietzschean rebellion? On the surface, Friedrich Nietzsche and Bart Simpson couldn't be more different. One wrote complex, world-shattering books about the death of God and the will to power. The other writes lines on a chalkboard and is an underachiever who's proud of it. One is a symbol of intellectual depth, the other a symbol of, well, not doing homework. But what if Bart Simpson is actually Nietzsche's philosophy in action, just wrapped up in a skateboard and a smart-mouth catchphrase? What if the urge to say, eat my shorts to your principal is a tiny cartoonish echo of the same urge to question every single rule you've ever been taught? Let's crack open this weird philosophical egg and see what spills out. Part 1. The Philosopher and the Prankster. Today we'll dive into a strange but surprisingly deep idea. Friedrich Nietzsche, the 19th century philosopher known for taking a sledgehammer to Western thought, shares a rebellious spirit with Bart Simpson, the spiky-haired kid who's been flipping off authority since 1989. It's not just about being bad, it's about questioning everything. Nietzsche looked at the world around him, including religion, morality, the thou shalts and thou shalt nots, and saw a cage. But he didn't just challenge religion and morality. He challenged the very idea of truth. Bart doesn't just prank his teachers. He pokes holes in the whole adult world. So what happens when we put these two together? We get a new way of looking at rebellion, creativity, and what it means to be truly alive. And if you've ever felt like the smart, quiet kid in a loud, rule-filled world, this story might hit home. Part 2. The problem with playing nice. Let's be real, society loves obedience. From school bells to office cubicles, we're trained to follow rules and not ask too many questions. But what if that's the problem? We've all felt it, that tug of war between wanting to fit in and wanting to be ourselves. From a young age, we're taught to be part of the group, to follow the rules, to not make waves. Think about the common sayings we hear. Don't rock the boat, go with the flow, or the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. This is the essence of what Nietzsche called herd morality. This is the idea that most people just go along with whatever the crowd says is right. For Nietzsche, the ultimate goal was to break free from that herd. He dreamed of the Übermensch, a kind of superhuman who wouldn't just follow the rules, but would create their own values, their own meaning for life. He wanted individuals to have the courage to say, I will decide what is good for me. Bart Simpson, in his own chaotic way, does just that. He's not interested in gold stars or good behaviour. He's interested in freedom. And while his rebellion might look silly, like mooning the principal or skipping homework, it's actually a cartoon version of something deeper. The refusal to be tamed. When he skateboards away from Nelson or tricks Milhouse into doing something foolish, he's asserting his own individuality against the crowd. Now, this doesn't mean Bart is a philosopher in disguise. He's not quoting Nietzsche while eating Butterfingers, but the spirit is there, and that's what makes this comparison so juicy. Part 3. Nietzsche's War on the Ordinary. Nietzsche wasn't just edgy for the sake of it. He believed that most people live in a fog, accepting ideas handed down from religion, tradition, and authority without ever asking, wait, does this make sense? He wanted people to wake up, to become what he called free spirits. These were people who didn't just follow rules, they created their own values. He even said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. It means that if you know what matters to you, what lights you up, you can handle whatever life throws your way. But to find that why, you have to stop living someone else's story. Bart Simpson doesn't have a philosophy degree, but he's allergic to this so-called living of someone else's story. He doesn't care what Principal Skinner wants. He doesn't care what his dad, Homer, says. He's writing his own script, one prank at a time. Part 4. Bart's mischief as meaning. Let's talk about Bart's graffiti tag, El Barto. It's not just vandalism, it's art. It's his way of saying, I exist. I'm not invisible, I'm not just another kid at a desk. Nietzsche believed that artists were the highest form of human because they create meaning in a meaningless world. They don't wait for someone to tell them what's beautiful, they make beauty out of chaos. Bart's prank calls to Moe's Tavern, such as asking for someone named IP Freely, are not just juvenile jokes. Their performances are a unique kind of folk art. He's a master of mischief, and his mischief is his art. He creates his own reality, his own fun, and his own identity through acts of defiance and imagination. He is the ultimate free spirit, an artist who uses his life to create his own masterpiece of rebellion. His art is not on a canvas or in a sculpture, it is in the very way he lives his life. Bart's pranks, his jokes, his wild energy, They're his way of making meaning. Sure, he's not painting traditional masterpieces, but he's expressing himself. He's refusing to be swallowed by the greyness of Springfield, and in that way, he's living out Nietzsche's dream, to be bold, creative, and free. Part 5. Beyond Good and Evil and Homework. Nietzsche wrote a book called Beyond Good and Evil, where he argued that morality isn't black and white. He said that the idea of good guys and bad guys is too simple. Real life is messy. Real people are complex. He talked about master morality, where actions are judged not by whether they're good or evil in a religious sense, but by whether they are life-affirming, powerful, and noble for the individual. It's about creating your own compass. Now, Bart lives outside the traditional moral framework. He doesn't think, is this good or evil? He thinks, is this fun? Will this make things more interesting? He operates from a place of pure, unfiltered id. His actions, like the time he sawed the head off the statue of the founder of Springfield, aren't about evil. They're about disrupting a stale reality and injecting it with a dose of anarchist creativity. He doesn't conform to the expectations of good boy behaviour because he is on a different playing field entirely, one where the rules of good and evil simply don't apply to him. This doesn't mean we should all start acting like Bart, but it does mean we should question the rules we follow. Are they helping us grow, or are they just keeping us quiet? Part 6. Springfield as a mirror. Think about Springfield. It's a town full of routines, rules, and ridiculous adults. It's a place where conformity is king. And into that world walks Bart Simpson, the chaos agent. He's not trying to fix Springfield, he's trying to survive it. And in doing so, he exposes its flaws. Nietzsche did the same thing with Western culture. He didn't offer easy answers. He didn't say, here's how to be good. He said, here's what's broken, now go figure out what matters to you. Bart doesn't preach, he pranks. But every prank is a little protest, every joke is a jab at the system, and that's why he's more than just a cartoon kid. He's a symbol of resistance. Part 7. The beauty of being difficult. Let's be honest, Bart is difficult, Nietzsche was difficult, and smart, introspective people? Yeah, they're often seen as difficult too. They ask hard questions, they don't settle for easy answers, they challenge the status quo. But here's the twist, that difficulty is beautiful. It's what drives change, it's what sparks creativity, it's what makes life interesting. So if you've ever felt like the odd one out, like the person who doesn't quite fit, maybe you're not broken, maybe you're Bart, maybe you're Nietzsche, maybe you're the spark in a world that's too used to silence. Part 8. Eat my shorts philosophy. So what do we get when Nietzsche morphs into Bart Simpson? We get a wild, weird, wonderful reminder that rebellion isn't just about breaking rules. It's about waking up. It's about refusing to be a copy of someone else. It's about creating meaning even if it's messy. Bart's catchphrase, eat my shorts, might sound silly, but maybe it's his way of saying, I won't be tamed, I won't be quiet, I won't be part of your herd. And Nietzsche would nod in approval. In a world that rewards obedience, Bart and Nietzsche remind us to stay curious, stay creative, and stay difficult. Because sometimes the smartest thing you can do is misbehave.